Okay, so I have been debating on recording this video over and over again for weeks. Been pasting today for hours and hours and hours and literally like spiraling. I got evaluated. Finally got evaluated. No, it's not for a reality show or, a lost twin or anything like that. I got evaluated for ADHD, and guess what? Your girl got it, okay? Your girl got the ADHD. And now everything makes sense. Everything makes sense in my life. We are having a full circle moment here. The forgotten text messages, the 37 tabs that are just open, the unfinished projects that I have that haven't been finished, the feeling of being overwhelmed when there's just too much going on. The list can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So yeah, this is me officially announcing my come out story of me being a neurodivergent sassy girl. I knew for a while now I was not like a regular person. I knew I was above average. Give it up for the regular people out here that definitely would point it out. I was definitely the kid that never sat down, never sat still, always was very animated, always had something to say, something to add. My report cards were kind of like, she's smart, but she talks too much. She knows this, but she just can't sit still to even figure out the rest. She doesn't seem very present at the moment. As a little girl, I definitely was misunderstood a whole entire lot. Like I was made to feel like I was too much. And if you can relate to me, this whole phrase of too much, that is something that we probably heard often. Too much or dramatic, definitely the dramatic word for sure. I never was the teacher's favorite. As a matter of fact, I think the teachers were probably annoyed with me. And I do remember that you yelled in my face. I remember that. Probably was distracted or daydreaming or something, but I'll never forget teachers really just treating me wrong for sure. I was definitely misunderstood heavily. Let's just say this, growing up with me as a sibling, I was definitely the blueprint in a way of what not to do. I was the one that got in trouble the most. I got the most whoopings and all of that. I was that child, and my brother and sister, they definitely looked to me to be okay, definitely don't do what Trinity just did, okay? All right, they took notes on me. Although my teachers did tell my parents that they did feel that I did have ADHD, my parents figured, nah. Now, if you're a millennial like me, then you probably know the older generation was not necessarily, let's just say, receptive to those type of things. Like a kid is just being a kid. And back in the day, I don't know if there was a lot of people coming forth about it. They didn't have that social media. Even when I was born, social media was not really popping like that. I'm 33 years old. Some of the great things that I did remember was definitely doing sports at an early age. I was in track early age, y'all. I was in this church after school program, and one day they just was let's go outside, let's race 2x2. It was a tournament, and I ended up beating everyone, including the boys, y'all, including the boys. From there, they told my parents, hey, she's very fast. You need to put her in track. From there, your girl became basically Track Nation gang gang. That's where my track journey started. I started track at 9 years old. 9 years old. It makes sense that I got all the way up to this point, not even thinking that I had ADHD, just off of the fact that I was so into sports, running track. I was so in it. You know what I'm saying? Summer track, that was life for me as a little girl. I didn't do anything else. And even then I played outside a lot. I was able to have an outlet with my ADHD as a little girl. And that's why there's no way I was able to see that I had it for the longest. I never would have guessed it. So I was running track all the way up until college. I was doing track for so long that I just think when I got to college, I was just you know what? It's just time to kind of live life now. I've had a coach all my life. I've already, I don't know, I know this life so much. It was fun. It was great, but I don't necessarily want to go to the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? This was fun, but now this is college. When you go to college, you're balancing school and you're balancing life. And it's a mix in between. It's kind of like, okay, now you know how to sit in a classroom and learn. Now you have to manage your time. Now you have to manage your time. You're no longer getting on a bus. Your parents, for one, are not waking you up. You're not getting on a bus. You're not sitting at the cafeteria eating your breakfast with your friends and then the bell rings and all of that. No, 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 no. You now have responsibilities. You now have to manage your life. And that right there, that ain't easy for people that have ADHD. Of course, I didn't know it back then. Like, I grew up in the church, very sheltered. My freshman year of college, like, it was like, wow, whoa. Your girl ain't never been to a club, to a bar, drank alcohol, even been like on dates around guys like that. A whole new world. All I knew was Jesus. And found out that everybody's not like Jesus. There were some classes I did enjoy. Math, not so much. I hated math. I was very overwhelmed with math, and I didn't know why. I didn't know what it was with me in math. And now that I've been evaluated, I know that it was really the fact that there was just so many numbers. Like, I never really liked algebra. It was just too many numbers, just too much. And I would be overwhelmed, and I'm like, no, I can't finish that. I just got very overwhelmed by a lot of stacked numbers, and it was just, I don't know, very intimidating to me. Listen, the only math I need to know is money math. That's all the math I know, honey, and that's the only math I need to know. Oh, my mama. Me having ADHD, there's things that I can definitely be like hyper fixated on. If you don't really channel that right, you don't kind of put that in the right lane, you're gonna find yourself being hyperfixated on things that are not important. I did not have my eye on the right thing. So balancing a bunch of homeworks and research papers and just all of that was a lot. It was just a lot for me. I definitely just felt overwhelmed, and I just kind of felt bored. Another thing about ADHD, that dopamine low, okay? One thing about us, we have low dopamine, and dopamine is basically when, you know, that feeling that you get when you eat your favorite food or watch your favorite show or listen to your favorite song, and we are already looking for the next dopamine hit. Okay, we're already bored. We're ready for the next thing. That's kind of why we drift off. And we are prone to being distracted. It's because something is not holding our focus enough. One word to describe my college experience was definitely procrastination. Definitely procrastination. That is the key word. Like, I can tell y'all straight up many times where I have literally had to present in front of the class, literally just making it up on the fly, okay? And sometimes I did good, sometimes I did not. There definitely was a few moments where just in college, people did make me feel like I was dramatic. You're feeling so much and you're not like taking a moment to kind of like regulate, right? So it's impulsive. You don't mean anything by it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just gotta. Which interrupting people obviously is not always a good look. It's not a good look. Like, that's why I know, wow, like I've been misunderstood a whole lot. You know, imagine someone just thinking that you're just mean and rude, and it's just like, whoa, that wasn't it. It makes it very hard to defend yourself with that type of situation, right? Like, it makes it very hard, especially if you don't know yourself. You're not self-aware of knowing yourself, right? This is why being evaluated is so important. It's so important. I wish I had services like Talkiatry back in the day, because the thought of being evaluated can kind of feel overwhelming, like it's a whole lot to do and this and that and the third. And Talkiatry doesn't work like that. They are a psychiatry practice that makes it so easy to get care from professionals without leaving the house. We love that. No traffic, no awkward waiting room, none of that. They're gonna give you real help online on your schedule. And yes, of course, they take insurance, the real insurance, the in-network kind. They treat ADHD, depression, postpartum care, all that real life stuff that we're trying to literally battle through every single day. Now, I'm not a patient, but had I known about Talkiatry a long time ago, I definitely would have been very quick to scan this QR code right here instead of spiraling and procrastinating and all of that. So please, if this is something that you have been putting off for a while now, please click the link below or scan this QR code, because Talkiatry will definitely help you in the right direction. This is like funny to me now, but what pushed me to get evaluated after getting married and having kids. That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. And it's crazy because I think a lot of us realize things about ourselves when we get married or get into relationships, and having kids, that will do it. Your spouse is there to basically hold up a mirror in a way. You know, they're there to expose some things about yourself. Y'all are supposed to be each other's better half. Y'all are each other's accountability partner. Y'all are supposed to make each other great. Balancing marriage, work, and being a mom, that is a lot to balance. That's nowhere near college balance. No, that's not. That's a different layer. Even being pregnant, hormones, postpartum, depression, all of that, it's a different thing, man. It's a different thing. Some things that were like more ongoing was definitely just feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated. Something just wasn't right because I wanted so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to lay in the bed all day. And this is the difference. This is why people with ADHD can really be looked at as like lazy or just not motivated or just irresponsible. Like, I'm telling you, it really gives us a bad rap. It really does. At some point, I did talk to my sister. She did let me know that she got evaluated and that she had ADHD. And we talked a little bit about it. And I was just like, she kind of just opened up a little bit of that window for me. From there, I had to really like do my own little research. That's when I was like, okay, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do a little research here and there. And I just knew, like, girl, you doing all this research and you're over here trying to like self-diagnose yourself, but you need to get evaluated. Like, it needs to be on paper at this point. The moment that I got the confidence was just having that little open space with my sister saying that she was diagnosed and just giving some insight about it. And that's why I'm doing this video, because I'm like, it really takes it. You gotta be open and transparent, and that changed my life. So I want to create that space for someone else. Once I moved back to North Carolina, I honestly did not just jump right in to get evaluated. Moving back to North Carolina and just, again, struggling with balance of motherhood and work and just being overwhelmed and just feeling like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on? See, my thing is, you got to be sick and tired of yourself. If you're going to change, it's only going to be because one day you woke up and you got sick and tired of yourself. And that was my moment. I literally looked in the mirror and was just like, girl, I'm fed up of you. You are the problem, girl. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I got so just fed up of myself because I didn't understand what was going on. I'm just like, yo, I want this, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do that. But why is my body not moving? Why is my body not moving? Like, why am I not finishing something? What is going on? I did not know. Don't waste your time trying to change people. They have to be fed up with themselves, okay? This right here, this was the day that I decided to get evaluated. And I remember, like, oh my goodness, I should set up a camera. Like, it's time. I need to document this moment. I had my first at home, online, not overwhelming meeting, because your girl wasn't gonna do no in person. See, this is baby steps. This is a very serious situation. From there, they're testing your full mental wellness. So I was just a little nervous, like, oh my gosh, what if on the other side it's not ADHD, what I thought it was? What if it's something else? Like, wow, I'm gonna have to unpack that. I only researched ADHD, and in the end, I did get diagnosed with ADHD. And I also was diagnosed with a lower end of depression. And I asked her about it because I'm just like, what? Like, what does that mean? You're out here in this world undiagnosed. You're just like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on with me? Why am I not showing up in the way that I want to show up? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm just this person that just doesn't want more out of life, or I feel irresponsible, or you're being even judged around people that, you know, supposedly love you. You start to feel bad about yourself because you start to look in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I am just this horrible, jacked up, lazy person. And oh my gosh, I'm depressed because why am I this way? Why? Honestly, you just start to beat yourself up about it. And that's exactly how depression is connected to ADHD. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes so much sense. It does. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I definitely was being very, very hard on myself and trying to hold myself to a certain amount of like expectations and, you know, trying to be perfect. From that point, we just started to talk about certain type of options and directions to go moving forward. Some things don't have to be medicated. Some things can. It really doesn't matter. It's really up to you about the direction that you want to go in figuring that out. But I will say this, having the self-awareness afterwards is the biggest help. Having that self-awareness, for one, you gain confidence to understand yourself, and then you extend out grace to yourself. From there, you're forgiving yourself. You're hugging yourself more to say, hey girl, it's cool, you got ADHD. You know you got ADHD, girl. You know you got ADHD. And now you know how to move forward. You can now kind of like be very, you know, mindful of the little things. Like you start to know your strengths and weaknesses. And that's a big bonus. A big win in this world is being self-aware. And I think that that is a big percentage of your mental health. I truly do. Okay. You don't want to be out here in this world and not know yourself, because you're going to allow the world to tell you about yourself and they don't get to tell you about yourself. You should be able to dig deeper within yourself to know yourself. Like, hey, I know I'm flawed here. I know I'm flawed there. I know I'm not as good in this area, but I know I'm strong in this area. Don't let the world tell you who you are. When you allow the world to kind of like make you feel different or tell you who you are or feel like basically point you as the problem, from there, you do start to suppress certain things. You start to not show up as your authentic self. I definitely know there's a moment where people were probably expecting a different version of me and they got the toned down version. Why? Because I've been told that I'm too much, too dramatic, too emotional, all that. Let me just give y'all the toned down version of me. I've actually realized that I don't think everyone deserves the authentic me, honestly. I don't even think people deserve to even have me in their presence, to be honest. Get to a point in your life where you feel that. I have realized that I am a lot. I am a lot. I care a lot. I give a lot. I love a lot. I can talk a lot. I do a lot. I express a lot. I over communicate a lot. Yeah, people are just too less for me. As someone that seeks dopamine often, you're boring. You're boring. Of course, as an adult and after getting evaluated, I definitely realized, you know what, girl? You're self-aware now, okay? You are going to have to regulate a little better, okay? Yes, they disrespected you. You still got to regulate. You still got to regulate. Sometimes you just got to cut people out your life. They're not going to make you a better person. Cut them out your life, okay? You can't, you know, make excuses for your actions and your reactions off of people that keep on triggering those things, okay? So that's going to help you out very quickly. It is perfectly fine for y'all to say, girl, we are not surprised that you have ADHD. We are not surprised at all, because in some crazy way, maybe my people are right here. Like maybe y'all always been my people. Maybe y'all always been my people all along. And I was never alone at all. We never were. But I'm happy to definitely put it out there that I have ADHD and I'm part of the neurodivergent community. And it feels good. It feels good.